Hi, third graders. Today you are going to learn about an artist named Jen Aranyi, and she is an artist that is currently making her money and making a living designing art and selling her art to people who happen to love it too. We're also going to re-look at three elements that you've learned, which are shape, line, and color. So before I show you some examples, I want to show you Jen's website. This is Jen's website where you can go and look at some of the artwork that she makes and even buy some of her artwork. Here's a video of how she makes her artwork. Just a few short videos, I guess. And if we scroll down, these are some of the pictures that would be on her Instagram feed. If you're curious and want to ask your mom or dad to take you to Instagram, you can look at more of her artwork. She has so many really cool designs. This is the type of art that I just really love. So you can also, she also sells her artwork, and that's how she makes money as a professional artist. We're going to go to the About page so I can teach you a little bit about who Jen Aranyi is. So she says, she wrote this About section. She says, "My name is Jen Aranyi, and I'm a watercolor nature artist and a graphic designer. My artwork is influenced by nature and the world around us. I am drawn to bright colors and often create work with vibrant pops of color, which contrast with simplified black and white line art. My work predominantly features landscapes and nature scenery and often incorporates colorful night skies dotted with stars and constellations. My art can be found on most social media platforms and has inspired art teachers around the globe to create lessons based on my work for students." That's you guys. She loves to be outdoors and to try to go hiking. If she's not drawing, painting, or getting lost in the woods, she's likely dancing around her living room, listening to music, or singing and playing ukulele. Well, that sounds like us, either making art or singing and dancing to music. So now I'd like to show you some of her artwork and talk about the shape, color, and lines that you see. So we're going to go back to our slideshow. This is where you're going to need to pause this video and give yourselves a chance to visit about each of these elements of art. The first question I want you to think of: what do you notice about the shapes Jen chooses in her artwork? Check out these examples. Now pause this video, turn and talk with your friends or someone close by and tell them, what do you notice about the shapes that Jen uses in her artwork? Okay, welcome back to our discussion about shapes. I'm hoping that you've talked about geometric and organic shapes. What do you guys know about geometric and organic shapes? Is this leaf a geometric or organic shape? Go ahead and blurt it out. You're right, it's an organic shape. It's made from nature. What about this triangle? Is this triangle a geometric or organic shape? Go ahead and blurt it out. You're right if you said geometric. You guys are so smart. What I want you to notice about Jen's use of shapes: she does not make boring rectangles and squares for her outline of her picture. She actually makes new shapes like these circles, this triangle, and notice that the trees and the moon actually break out of that triangle shape. It makes it really interesting and just different. You are challenging yourselves today to think of an outline shape that's different from a square or rectangle. It can be geometric or it could be organic, like this leaf or these bottles. It is totally up to you today. And if you were paying attention on her video, you might have also seen the outline of a bear. You could make an outline of an animal if you're really feeling up to the challenge. The next thing I want you to think about in Jen's artwork, here's your question. What do you notice about the color palettes? That means the color schemes. So check out these pictures and be thinking, what are you noticing about the colors? Here are two more examples of her color use. Pause this video and talk to your friends about what you are noticing about the colors that Jen uses in her artwork. Okay, I'm curious to know what you guys thought. In these pictures that she makes, these watercolor paintings, what are you noticing about the colors? I hope you noticed something along the lines of that she uses yellows and reds and blues and purples that would match the sky that you might see either early in the morning or maybe even at night. Even more important, she uses a color scheme that the colors are next door neighbors on the color wheel. For example, this one with yellow, green, and blue. If we look at our color wheel, we can go next door, yellow, green, and blue. That color scheme she chose has a fancy artist name. It's called an analogous color scheme. Everybody go ahead and say that out loud. Analogous color scheme. That's just a fancy name for next door neighbors on the color wheel. On the other picture, she uses yellow, orange, red, and all the way to purple. We can move through the color wheel and see those colors again: yellow, orange, red, pink, and purple. So when you're thinking about the colors you'd like to use next week, you will get to choose an analogous color scheme to add to your artwork. Moving on, the last element, which is line. Get ready to pay attention, observe, and then talk with your friends what you see. What do you notice about how Jen uses lines in her artwork? Here are some examples. Pause this video and talk with your neighbors about what lines you notice. Here's your challenge. Can you name the lines? Thick, thin, dotted, dashed, and all the other various lines that we've learned. Ready? Start talking. Okay, my friends, welcome back. What I want you to notice about the lines Jen uses, she uses a variety of lines. She has thick lines and thin lines. She has dotted lines. She has straight lines. She has wavy lines and whatever else you mentioned, vertical lines, diagonal lines, horizontal lines. I challenge you today when you're drawing to add lines. For example, look at these mountains. She made a shadow of a mountain and she didn't color it in black. She used lines to make it look like there's a shadow side of the mountain. Maybe you can try that out in your drawing. Now it's your turn to make your own Jen Aranyi inspired piece of artwork. You're first going to get a small piece of paper. Your job is to design something with an outside shape that is not a rectangle. You might be thinking you want to do an animal. Maybe you're going to do the jars like at the beginning. Maybe you're going to do a leaf. It's totally up to you. Anything is fair game. You are the artist. You get to decide. The second thing I want you to practice drawing on your small paper is some sort of landscape or, I don't know, whatever you choose on the inside, just like Jen did. This part of art, you are only going to have 3 minutes. It does not need to be perfect. It does not need to be your final project. I want you to practice drawing. You're not going to have any help. You just have to go for it for 3 minutes. That's not very long. And when that 3 minutes is up, you'll get a big piece of paper and you can start drawing. For the big paper, you can use pen or pencil and you will get to draw. There are no redos, so be very slow and gentle. And also, if you make a mistake, don't worry about it. You can turn it into something beautiful. You guys got this. I can't wait to come back to school and see what you created. Have fun today, and I will see you next week.